Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017, the Web-Slinger's triumphant return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Introduction. Released in 2017, Spider-Man: Homecoming marks Spider-Man's full integration into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Directed by John Watts. The film represents a fresh take on the beloved superhero, with Tom Holland stepping into the role of Peter Parker. Having already made his debut in Captain America: Civil War, 2016. Spider-Man's standalone film in the MCU brings the character back to his roots as a high school student juggling the challenges of adolescence with the responsibilities of being a superhero. Unlike previous Spider-Man films, Homecoming focuses on Peter's coming-of-age story as he learns what it means to be a hero under the guidance of his mentor, Tony Stark, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. The film forgoes the typical origin story and instead dives right into Peter's life post-Civil War, as he navigates his newfound powers and responsibilities. With a grounded villain in Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, Michael Keaton, an ensemble of diverse characters, and a fun, light-hearted tone, Spider-Man: Homecoming successfully reinvents the character for a new generation while maintaining his essence. Plot overview. The film begins in the aftermath of the Battle of New York, as seen in The Avengers. Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton, and his salvage company are hired to clean up the city. But their operation is shut down by Damage Control, a government agency created by Tony Stark and the federal government to handle post-battle cleanups. Angry and feeling cheated, Toomes decides to keep some of the alien technology left behind and starts a black market weapons business using the salvaged tech. Fast forward to the present, where Peter Parker, Tom Holland, is balancing his life as a 15-year-old high school student in Queens while eagerly awaiting his next mission from Tony Stark. After helping Stark during the airport battle in Civil War, Peter is itching to prove himself as more than just the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. However, Tony wants Peter to focus on being a normal teenager while occasionally handling local, small-time criminals. Peter spends his days dealing with high school life alongside his best friend Ned, Jacob Batalon, and crush Liz, Laura Harrier, while secretly patrolling the streets as Spider-Man. His double life becomes complicated when he stumbles upon one of Toomes' arms deals, where high-tech alien weapons are being sold to local criminals. Realizing the seriousness of the threat, Peter tries to bring this to Tony Stark's attention but is brushed off, prompting Peter to take matters into his own hands. Determined to stop Toomes, Peter tracks down his operations but finds himself in over his head. He disrupts a weapons deal on the Staten Island ferry, which leads to a disaster where the ferry is split in half. Tony Stark intervenes, saving the ferry and scolding Peter for acting recklessly. Stark takes away the high-tech Spider-Man suit he had given Peter, leaving him to reconsider his actions. Feeling defeated, Peter decides to focus on his normal life. He asks Liz to the homecoming dance, believing that he can move past his superhero responsibilities. However, Peter's life takes an unexpected turn when he discovers that Liz's father is none other than Adrian Toomes, the Vulture. In a tense car ride to the dance, Toomes deduces that Peter is Spider-Man and subtly threatens him to stay out of his way. Despite the danger, Peter knows he must stop Toomes from executing a major heist on Stark's cargo plane, which is transporting valuable tech. Without Tony's suit, Peter dons his homemade costume and heads off to stop Toomes. In the climactic battle, Peter successfully thwarts Toomes' plans, and in the process, saves him from death. Adrian Toomes is arrested, but he keeps Peter's identity a secret when questioned in prison. At the end of the film, Tony Stark offers Peter a place among the Avengers, along with a new, advanced Spider-Man suit. However, Peter declines, choosing instead to remain a local hero and continue living his life as a high school student. Key characters and performances: Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Holland's portrayal of Peter Parker captures the youthful energy and excitement of a teenager coming to grips with his powers. His vulnerability and desire to prove himself set him apart from previous portrayals, making him more relatable and grounded. Holland excels in balancing the comedic and emotional aspects of the character, bringing a fresh, authentic energy to the role. Adrian Toomes, Vulture, Michael Keaton. Keaton's portrayal of Toomes is menacing yet grounded. As a working-class man turned villain, Toomes isn't motivated by world domination but by a desire to provide for his family after feeling betrayed by the system. Keaton's performance adds depth to the character, making him a sympathetic and complex villain, one of the best in the MCU. Tony Stark, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. As Peter's mentor, Tony Stark serves as a guiding figure, though he struggles with how much responsibility to give Peter. Downey brings his usual charisma to the role but also infuses Tony with a sense of maturity, reflecting his own growth since the early Iron Man films. Ned Leeds, Jacob Batalon. Peter's best friend and the comic relief of the film, Ned is one of the first people to discover Peter's secret identity. Batalon's performance brings humor and heart to the story, with Ned's enthusiasm about Peter's alter ego serving as a fun counterpoint to Peter's struggles. Liz Allen, Laura Harrier. Liz is Peter's love interest in the film, and her relationship with Peter is sweet and genuine. However, the twist that her father is the villain adds emotional complexity to her character, particularly during the third act. Michelle, MJ, Jones, Zendaya. Though her role is small in this film, Zendaya's portrayal of Michelle, a sarcastic and observant classmate, hints at future developments for her character. Her dry humor and disinterest in high school social norms make her stand out among Peter's peers. Themes: responsibility versus adolescence. One of the central themes of Homecoming is Peter's struggle to balance his responsibilities as Spider-Man with his desire to live a normal teenage life. Throughout the film, Peter learns that being a hero isn't just about fighting crime but also about making mature decisions and understanding the consequences of his actions. Mentorship and independence. Peter's relationship with Tony Stark highlights the theme of mentorship. Stark, who acts as both a mentor and a father figure, challenges Peter to grow and prove himself. At the same time, Peter's journey is one of finding his own path, ultimately deciding to remain a street-level hero rather than becoming an Avenger. Class and economic struggles. Adrian Toomes' motivations as the Vulture stem from his frustration with the system, particularly how the rich and powerful, represented by Tony Stark, benefit at the expense of ordinary people. His turn to crime is rooted in his desire to provide for his family, which adds a layer of social commentary to the film. Identity and self-worth. Peter's quest to prove himself to Tony Stark is a key part of his character arc. Throughout the film, Peter believes that he needs the advanced Spider-Man suit to be a hero, but by the end, he realizes that his worth as a hero comes from within, not from the technology. Visual effects and action sequences. Action and stunts. The action sequences in Homecoming are inventive and grounded, focusing more on Spider-Man's agility and resourcefulness than brute strength. Highlights include the Washington Monument rescue, the Staten Island ferry disaster, and the final battle on the Stark cargo plane. The film emphasizes Peter's inexperience and the learning curve of being a young superhero, with several moments where his powers and judgment are tested. Visual style. Homecoming embraces a more colorful and playful visual style compared to other MCU films. The film's aesthetic captures the essence of a teenage high school movie, with bright settings like Peter's school and the vibrant New York City backdrop. The visual effects are used to complement the film's humor and tone, particularly in sequences where Peter fumbles with his powers or gadgets. Music and soundtrack. Spider-Man Homecoming features a lively and nostalgic soundtrack that complements Peter's youthful energy and the film's overall light-hearted tone. The use of classic rock songs like Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones and the Spider-Man theme by Michael Giacchino adds to the fun, retro feel of the film. Giacchino's score is dynamic, blending heroic themes with lighter, playful motifs to reflect Peter's dual life as a teenager and superhero. Reception and impact. Spider-Man: Homecoming was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $880 million worldwide. Critics praised the film for its fresh take on the character, Tom Holland's performance, and the grounded villain in Adrian Toomes. The film was lauded for its balance of humor, action, and heart, with many noting that it captured the spirit of Spider-Man's early comic book adventures. The film's emphasis on Peter's youth and his role as a neighborhood hero was a refreshing departure from the more epic, world-threatening stakes of other MCU films. Homecoming succeeded in making Spider-Man feel like an ordinary teenager dealing with extraordinary circumstances, resonating with both new fans and longtime Spider-Man enthusiasts. Legacy and future of Spider-Man. Spider-Man: Homecoming solidified Spider-Man's place in the MCU and paved the way for his continued involvement in major MCU events, including Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame. The film's grounded approach to the character, combined with its focus on personal growth and relationships, set the tone for future Spider-Man films in the MCU. The success of Homecoming led to its sequel, Spider-Man: Far From Home, 2019, which explores Peter's life after the events of Endgame, as well as the anticipated third installment, Spider-Man: No Way Home, 2021, which would delve into the multiverse and bring together different iterations of Spider-Man. Conclusion: Spider-Man: Homecoming is a fun, fresh, and heartfelt reboot of the Spider-Man franchise within the MCU. By focusing on Peter Parker's journey as a high school student and a fledgling hero, the film captures the essence of what makes Spider-Man such a beloved character. With a stellar cast, a charismatic lead in Tom Holland, and a well-rounded villain in Michael Keaton's Vulture, Homecoming strikes the perfect balance between action, humor, and emotion, cementing Spider-Man's place as a key player in the MCU.